So, hello, also welcome back to the new episode of the Love of the Game Cricket podcast. So, last episode we did a thing on the Indian domestic season, the Dilip Trophy and everything. So, we also covered up how it could be Ashwin Jadeja. Maybe last time, kind of, we are seeing them later on. Ashwin's definitely maybe it was the last time we saw him in Chennai. So who knows? But he pulled off a man of the match performance, like a century and a fifer in the same game. And also, if you recollect in 2021 in the England series, also he had a century and fifer in Chennai also. So that's huge kudos to him. So Prakash is here with me. So let's kind of jump right into some other matches which are going on. So we will cover the India Bangladesh game later on. So there are Australia England ODI series is going on, a 5 match ODI series after a long time. Also, there is a Sri Lanka New Zealand Test series going on, and also the Afghanistan South Africa series going on. So let's first talk about the New Zealand Sri Lanka ones. So currently it's still ongoing. I think New Zealand are 51 for 2 or something of that sort. So Prakash, if you may start with that. So what are your thoughts on this series? And also, I think Sri Lanka won the last Test match in England. So do you think a steady progress in Sri Lanka as a Test side or a cricketing side over the last few months or something? Do you think something good has happened to them? And how do you see this overall series from your perspective?
First of all, welcome to the viewers and thank you for your introduction. Before we start, I think Sri Lanka have discovered this guy, Kamindu Mendes. He's something else. I don't know. I've not seen a batsman from Sri Lanka who's been playing this way. His average is around 80 already in a very short career. Sri Lanka are on a good place. They're not free from all problems, but they're getting better, and their bowling is getting better. The spinners are doing a job. Their batsmen are doing all right. Chandimal has come back into the side, so there's a lot of good things happening for them. However, I don't know if they'll win this particular game because it's actually it's going to be a tough one. New Zealand needs 224 to win,
Right.
and to have need 8 wickets. I don't know. Prabhat Jayasuriya has just started to bowl his 8 over spell, so I don't know. They can pull this off, but I think in England they did pretty well. They won a game and they lost two in which their batting fell apart a bit. If they can somehow
Right.
sort their batting out, I think they're going to be fine. They'll be a team to reckon with once they have steady batting.
And also, I'm kind of happy with the pitches they put out because it was not a ranked turner, so it was a good cricket wicket. So you kind of test everybody's skills. Also, I think Rootke uh, is a fast bowler to watch out from New Zealand. I think
Certainly.
he's a young one, like bowling decent heat. So anyway, so let's shift our focus to another series, a very like not so hype, but definitely Afghanistan has been doing great against South Africa, like in the 50 over series. So I think they recently defeated with a 177 run victory. So that's a huge margin. So I think Afghanistan is another cricketing story from the T20 World Cup itself. Like even before that, the 2023 Cricket World Cup. So they have only been going from strength to strength, and I think under Jonathan Trott, mostly their strength was spin. They used to bowl outsides, but the batting used to like falter, unable to make long decent partnerships. I think that has changed. They know how to build partnerships now. I don't know if it's due to Jonathan Trott or why do you think this change has happened, and how do you think the batting side of things Afghanistan has improved, and overall as a side, how do you think they have improved?
You are right when you say there's a lot of Jonathan Trott. Jonathan Trott as a batsman was a very, he when he made his debut, he made a century on debut against Australia, and he was a very grooved player. He knew what he could do, what he couldn't do, and he just played within his sort of scope of play that he had, and you can clearly see it. Today, I saw a stat that Bukaz has made his 700 or 800, I think
Okay,
752 innings. Even
nice.
Sachin Tendulkar didn't make it in these many innings. So, and they've discovered this new guy. I'm not sure if I get his Ghaznafar or something is his name. He's an off spinner. He's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
like Mendes, tall guy. The if Afghanistan can find a bowler who can bowl 140 kilometers an hour, they will be they'll be a fully rounded team. Like
True.
as we come to Bangladesh, but when you see Bangladesh, they have three very good seam bowlers right now. If Afghanistan can manage that, these guys will these guys will be a handful. You will not be able to beat them easily, be it any format, if I may add. They are that good. The first innings, they got the first ODI, they got South Africa all out for 100 something. And it was a tricky wicket. It wasn't the best wicket. Even they took some time to chase it, but they chased it in the end pretty comfortably. The second game, they just came and smashed South Africa. 316. South Africa lost by hundreds, like you said, 170 something runs. That's crashing. Yes, South Africa are not at strength, but they are still South Africa. They're not a team like they're not a pushover side. So it's a very big achievement. Again, Afghanistan has another feather in its cap.
Yeah, I think it's Afghanistan qualifying to the semis in the T20 World Cup was a bit of a great thing to know. Like their cricket is improving, but I think now going forward to the next World Cups or something, I think them being in the top four won't be that much of a surprise now because I think they have kind of overcome that hurdle. And I think if, as you said, if they can find a 140 spinner, 140 pacer, I think they are well on their way to become maybe they can go to the finals next time. Who knows? So anyway, so anything can happen. So all the best to Afghanistan as a cricketing nation. And so so in a long while, a 5-match ODI series is happening in England. England, Australia, we hardly see those. It's normally 3-match ODI series at max these days. So it's good to revisit those times. So England has taken a beating in couple of ODIs as well. I think like Travis said, as always, have been like shining. He's been having a very rosy kind of a form ever since the 50 over World Cup as well. So overall, so if we look at say focus on England, if we look from the 23 World Cup, which was a disaster campaign for them, it's not been that good. Even in home conditions, in the limited overs cricket, which was supposed to be under Morgan era, they're supposed to be an invincible side, kind of that fear which they generated among oppositions of chasing down anything, scoring anything. That seems to have declined a lot. So, what do you put that down to? Is it due to transition? Is it due to what? Like, what's your thoughts on England as a limited over side right now?
They are definitely a team in transition right now. I don't think it's a sign of worry because the talent they have is there for everyone to see. There is Butler is injured. I don't know if Ben Stokes is going to play ODI cricket, but I think he's going to play ODI cricket, but he may not play T20. But with these two players out, it is a big deal. Mark Wood is not playing; they've rested him. It's a good sign to see Archer back, but they've for example, in the first ODI, they were way on track to make 400. They lost a
Right.
few in between. Ben Duckett is a very good inclusion in the side. He made a great 90. Even yesterday, he got a start. He didn't capitalize, but I don't think they should worry England too much. I'll also add another thing. I don't think people in Australia are watching this series also because it's football season there. Their Aussie rules goes on. So it's I don't know if people are even concerned as much as we are, to be honest. But yeah, 5 tests. I mean, 5 ODI series. I don't know if it's gonna hit the headlines, but it'll be a good workout for everybody. That's all. It's basically that. For England, the next assignment after the Champions Trophy is the Ashes, and that's what it seems like. This is what they're preparing for.
Right. Yeah. So let's see how that series goes. I think Steve Smith also has a point to prove. So let's see how everything goes. So and now, so coming to the India versus Bangladesh series, it's the start of the Indian home season. It's going to be a long season for India now. I think if we consider them to be in the World Test Championship finals, it's going to be a 16 Test match series ending with the England away tour in 2025. So it's going to be a long red ball season. So starting with India versus Bangladesh, Bangladesh having defeated Pakistan in Pakistan, so has surely made the headlines. And they have got some Nahid Rana. The Pacers look very decent, which is a nice kind of a surprise coming from Bangladesh. And their spinners have always been doing their job. So if we consider this test match, so India were 144 for 6. They were almost down and out in the first innings of the test match. But as always, we kind of see the Indian lower order, especially in home conditions, the batting depth we have kind of always in the recent few matches have always bailed India out of such tough situations. So how do you summarize this test match as a whole? Do you think it's a missed opportunity for Bangladesh, or was this always on the cards given how India actually do perform in home?
It's a bit of look when they had us at 144. First off, they won a great toss. They made a gutsy move to bowl first on a wicket, which generally in Chennai, when you win the toss, you bat first. But the build up to the test match, there was a lot of rain. It was a very overcast day. On day one was very difficult to bat. So at 144 for six, it was certainly a missed opportunity. But you get to see where they lack. They didn't have the firepower to come and take the last four wickets. Also think we need to give a special mention again to Jaiswal because he did make 56. In the whole scheme of things, it doesn't look like a big score, but he did play 2-3 hours where the ball was doing a bit. And then it allowed Ashwin and Jadeja to come and score in the end. And don't forget, even Pant played a very handy 39. And that 39 was a very important innings in the context of setting up that first inning score. What happened after Ashwin took over, he was on cruise control. I think this is his fourth 50 in a row because he played the last 3 games of the TNPL. He came opening, started at 3, and he scored a 50 in the last 3 games, including the final. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is his fourth 50-plus score on this ground, and one is 100 and 3 are 50s. So it's not a surprise to me that he could make, because he is in good batting touch, but doing it on international cricket is different. His bowling, he must have been disappointed with in the first innings, but after that, Bumrah, I think I don't know what to say. There is no weakness. Only thing is, like you mentioned, that in this particular season that we're going to have, I have a feeling that there will be a transition. And we need to be ready with players. Now, without saying it, there are 4 players who are already, there's Ashwin, there's Rohit, there's Jaddu, and there's Virat. Now, how Team India lets these guys go and how we manage their workload, how they retire, eventually in the next 2 years I have a feeling if hopefully, God willing, we win the WTC, you will see a few retire.
Okay.
Because there will not be anything much for them to achieve after that. And in another 2-year cycle, some of them will be in their 40s. It's good if they want to play, but I think that seems to be the end goal. That's what the whole selection committee has set out to achieve as a unit. So good luck to them. It's not going to be easy, but I don't see where the problem in the team. Maybe we need more fast bowlers, but the batting is set, the bowling looks set, the spinners look set. Doing all this without Aksar and Kuldeep. And we played a third spinner over here. Akashdeep did a fantastic job. Don't know where to complain, excepting the fact that the top order, there is a bit of a question mark. But this wicket was tough to bat on. It wasn't easy to bat on in day one. So I'll give you that. You can give them a little bit of leeway, but it's coming to a point where they need to. Rohit and Virat, both of them didn't do much in this game. In spite of that, we won, which is a big deal. But, they'll have to come up with a few runs sooner rather than later.
Yeah, so coming to that top order issue, so it has been happening a bit consistently. If we look at the England series also at home, which we had, so it's mostly the middle order and the lower middle order kind of bailing us out and getting us to decent scores, and then the bowlers kind of do their jobs, the spinners, pacers. The bowling lineup does it for itself. So if we look at home conditions, I don't think it will be much of an issue. We have got the batting depth to cover the deficiencies at the top. But I think if you're looking at the bigger picture, say the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia, or maybe the England Tour or the World Test Championship final, I think the top order, especially in the first innings, plays a very crucial role. And I don't think your lower order will be able to bail you out in such tough situations all the time, especially in away conditions. So from that perspective, given how the batting positions are currently, so Rohit and Jaiswal opening, I think that's okay. My question is regarding the number 3 spot. I understand Gill has scored a century, but do you think will have that Pujara type of temperament to, maybe we all know what Pujara did in Australia, right? So given that KL Rahul has already been an opener and he is comfortable at the top order, so can there be? I'm just thinking on my toes here, kind of a thing. So is it a possibility that KL can maybe shift up to 3? Gill at 4 and Kohli at 5. Why I say Kohli at 5 is because if you want to have a transition in the batting order, I think number 4 is a very, very crucial spot. You just can't give it to random people. I think it should be a transition where Kohli kind of drops down a spot, let Gill handle the number 4 spot. I think Gill is more suited to number 4 than number 3. So these are kind of my thoughts I'm having in my head. So do you think that current batting order is justified going in the long run, or do you want to change something up?
I think you have to persist with Gill at three. I'll just talk about Gill here for a second. If you go back to
Yeah,
his debut and when he stood in his stance, he was still, he didn't move. Ever since the second test in England, he's got a little bit of a shuffle now. So he's trying to adapt. In international cricket, you will not be able to stand. I mean, I'm not that good a cricketer as he is, but you can see there is a technique change made,
right,
and
right,
you give him some time. You know, I was very critical of him in the England series in the first test, but he came back. He bailed us out. He bailed us out even now. Although you must say they were easier runs to score compared to what
right.
Ashwin and Jadeja did. Right? It must be said, and
Mm.
I'm sure he will agree too. His third, fourth inning scores are fine. When he's coming out in the third and fourth innings, his average is fine. It looks all good. It's in the first innings where the problem is. The second he breaks that those shackles, he'll be fine. I think we should persist with him. With regards to Kohli at five, I never thought of this. He's always going to play at four till the time he's there. But yes, you bring up a very interesting point. We'll have to blood a new guy. Now, who that new guy will be, I don't know as yet. There are many people in line. There's Ruturaj. There's somebody like Sarfraz, but he's a specialist number five. Um, He'll, if you follow his Ranji career, he started at three. I think he will end
Okay.
up being three. He's destined to be, plus he's been coached under Rahul Dravid. So I think he will be at three for us. We need to be a little bit patient with him. He's been fine. Even with, look, problems will come out. They're still very young. We have to remember these guys are 24, 25. You have Iyer also waiting in the wings. Jaiswal is a 23-year-old. They will make mistakes, but I think they're good enough to overcome them. So I'm not
Yeah,
worried about batting. The position that really worries me, at least when you bring up BGT, we need a seam bowling all rounder there. Where Shardul Thakur has disappeared, I don't know. We're trying to blood Nitish Reddy. Some people are even saying that Pandya might play test matches. So that is a position that worries me. There is no other. Your fourth seamer worries me a little bit. Who that fourth seamer will be?
true.
Akashdeep,
And yeah,
Shami are set for now.
yeah, I just hope Shami is kind of fit. He has not been playing in the series. I hope he comes back in the New Zealand series, gets a few games so that he's fit for the BGT. I think he will be very crucial because without him, I think we will be a bowler short, like given how reserves of the fast bowling currently are. So anyway, so let's come to Bangladesh for a bit. So we have spoken about how they won in Pakistan, the Rana, the fast bowling batteries. So, how impressed are you with Bangladesh, or where do you think they still lack and can improve further? So, what's your take on Bangladesh as a test side?
Look, in even if you go back and look at India in the 90s, they were a very good first innings team. They would, somehow take the first five, six, 7 wickets easily, and they didn't. We didn't have the firepower or the fourth or fifth bowler to come and take the other 3 wickets that are needed. They had a problem with Sakib. He's had a finger injury, and
Right,
he's said it pretty clearly. He didn't feel the ball coming out of his hand. Mehdi Hassan, you must say, Ashwin took on them. They took on the spinners when they had the chance because the seamers were bowling very well. That's where they lost control of the game, I think. Um, their seamers did very well. Navid, in the first innings, all three. Tuskin came back on day two and bowled very well. Day one, he didn't do. I think he bowled only 8, 10 overs in day one. Not much. It wasn't great. The other guy, Hassan Mahmood is his name? Or
yeah,
the guy,
it has, yeah,
Hassan
yeah,
Mahmood.
yeah,
He is he is a very good bowler. He just pitches it online, and he getting people like Rohit out, Virat out. He took the whole top order. He is impressed.
right,
But then again, in the second innings, that kind of sting wasn't there. The wicket also did settle down a lot. But you need to take 20 wickets. And to take 20 wickets in India, not every team, nobody's done it for 13 years. I mean, people have done it, but not beaten us comprehensively.
right.
It's a tough task, and it's hard to base on their performance on one test, and to beat India over here is not easy. It's this is Australians can't do it. So you know, Bangladesh are a team. This is the best team that has come to India from their shores. That is for sure. There is no doubt about it. They have a very good combination. It'll take them some time. Give them some time, but they are heading in the right place.
Right. So I feel regarding Bangladesh, I would like to see them in a Sena test like recently, because given they have the fast bowling now to at least challenge in the away tours of say South Africa, New Zealand, England, Australia. But I think their batting will still struggle a bit in away conditions. So we have to just, we can't predict that. We have to see how it goes. So hope for the best for Bangladesh as a test side as well. So they have been doing decently in at their home. So hopefully they kind of become a well-rounded test team. Also becomes more competitive for global cricket as a whole. So yeah, so this is all what we had for today. So let's see how the next test goes, and overall, what all the series just going on around the cricket world. We will again come back in the next for the with the next episode. And also one more thing is that the women's World Cup is kind of starting, so we will do a show on that as well as a preview kind of a thing. Maybe we can do it next week. So that is also something to keep an eye out for. So yeah, so thanks all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Do share, let us know in the comments what are your key takeaways from all the series which is going on. Maybe the India Bangladesh, who impressed you the most. And a final thought is that very happy, super proud for Rishabh Pant, like scoring comeback 100 on the first test after such a life threatening setback is a massive thing to achieve. So all the best to him for his future and everything. So yeah, thank you all. Do again join us next time. See you. Bye. Thanks,
Thank you.
Prakash. Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah.